Can I take over?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Anime 405 proudly brings to you Steve Dow!
Yeah!
Sorry I'm late. I had a fight to finish.
So we're gonna be doing some questions. There is a microphone over here for anyone that wants to ask a question. So please line up peacefully. I get the first question and I get the last question. And then we'll take it from there. So my first question is, back in July, there was a strike that happened. And I was just wondering if you had any comments on that or anything you wanted to say about it.
Oh, I have a few comments.
That's Master Chief chat.
Last July, the union that most of us video game voice actors belong to, SAG-AFTRA went on strike. In July, it was not about money, it was not about working conditions or getting more time off. It's about the use of artificial intelligence in our industry. And what we're asking for is that if you are going to, a video game maker, publisher, are going to use one of our images, and that would be the guys and women who do performance capture, and people like myself who do the voice acting part. If you are going to use or sample the work that we've done for you to use in other ways, for other games, for other purposes, whatever it might be, that we, the actor, have a say in how that gets used, where it's used, and to be compensated for it. The publishers don't want to do any of that. And what we're really doing, and I would say this applies to not only our particular profession, but most professions out there, is that we're trying to have some protection for the work that we do.
My arms are tired, Jack.
Because if left unchecked, it would mean the end of actors in the video game industry. And we just assume not see that. You know, we kind of like it. And we kind of think that hopefully you like it, that you like some human participation in the games that you're watching and playing. And that's what we're trying to do. We've been at the negotiating table off and on since last July and made little or no progress. And like I said, we have agreed on everything else. All the other issues have been agreed upon. It's just the AI portion. So the only reason I like to bring it up at these things is because we, first of all, want you people who make this whole industry possible to be aware of what's happening. Many of you may not be aware that it's happening. And to have your support, basically your online and the online community. We're not at this point asking people to boycott the games, but we are asking you for your awareness, to share that awareness and to make that support known in your online profiles. It goes a long way towards helping us to pressure the video game publishers to come to some sort of agreement on how artificial intelligence is to be used in our business. So thank you for letting me be on my little soapbox for a minute.
You're welcome.
Whenever he asks questions, I'm going to ask him if he's a chill guy.
Microphone right over here. Just step over. Just tell him, make a hole, people, make a hole.
Ask him if he's a chill guy.
Okay, and your name and your question, and
Go. Hello, my name is... Go alone. Pussy, come on.
Hello. But you don't even know me. Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. For many long years of my childhood and everything.
Only the good parts, Andrew. I had nothing to do with that one episode, remember? I had nothing to do with that.
See, the line cutoff is right here.
Oh, okay, so
Once more people, or I guess essentially if there's no room in this spot. Yeah, basically. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. you. I appreciate it.
My name's Martin, and I just wanted to see what your opinion was about the 343 studios switching over to
We got a shitty angle.
and
You can't see anything. We got a shitty angle, chat.
more of a Bungie, back to the Bungie days, or what's your opinion on that?
Well, it brings up two things. Number one, as what I was just talking about in terms of the strike, means that we as actors are not really permitted to talk about any ongoing activities as it pertains to the games that we may be involved with. In this particular case, it's real easy for me to do that because I don't know shit about what's happening. 343 Studios, other than what you know, which is that the names have changed, presumably to protect the innocent. And but I really have no comment on what's happening.
Chad, are you there?
You miss the Bungie days?
No, I don't. Bungie was great to watch. I mean, if it wasn't for
They just
Bungie, I
told me
would
that
be sitting here talking
that's
to
where
you.
they're,
And
like,
put that
cutting
specifically
off.
Marty O'Donnell, who was the guy who cast me in the role, cast all of the voice actors.
So no more questions after that?
I'm so sorry. That was entirely my
Oh,
fault. I'm
yeah.
so sorry, y'all.
Music.
I got confused by the names.
No problem. Thank you for telling us.
So I have a great affection.
Let's go find a better seat.
For the guys who created this marvelous character, this marvelous universe, and this, I have been able to participate in some way. When it changed over to 343,
Mission failed. We'll get him next time.
Oh,
is it?
The story of Master Chief. Not much, but, you know, I was allowed to be able to talk to the writers and the directors and the people who were involved in it. Back in the Bungie days, I would literally walk in day of, they'd hand me a script.
They cut off the question lines. We were too late.
It was go time.
He didn't write that when he had
So it was
to.
a little more involvement
chance.
when we got to Halo 4, which still to this day was my favorite game to work on. For a number of reasons, one of which was what I just said, and the other being it was the first time Jen Taylor, who was the voice of Cortana, the first time we actually got to work in the same room at the same time with each other physically, and it made the experience that much more memorable.
So much, and thank you for many years. Great memories.
Thank you. I'm sorry?
What's your favorite Halo weapon?
The battle rifle, I suppose, is a good go-to, but the needler looks so cool. I might have to go that direction. Plus, I just signed one like 5 minutes ago, so it's top. You're welcome. Thank you. Halo 2 did, yes. The first word that comes to mind is surreal for me. You know, I had no idea when I went in to do Combat Evolved that this was going to be a life-changing moment. And I suppose it's a lesson to all of us is you just never know when that moment may come. An actor friend of ours, my wife and I, her advice was always never get out of line. And the meaning of that is you just never know when it's your time. And unless you stay in the game and stay involved in your craft, you may miss an opportunity that was yours, you know, to have. So not only did I not know what this journey was going to be now 24 years on, neither did Marty. You know, Marty tells me that, you know, they really did not have a plan to make it to you. That was not in the cards. In fact, one of the head honchos at Bungie had a thing about sequels. He didn't want to ever do a sequel. So when they made Combat Evolved, that was supposed to be a one-off. And with the overwhelming success of that, Bill Gates had another thought.
That's the first one.
about
That's what we
that.
played?
And we all
we
know
don't
how
play
that
Reach.
worked out.
Yeah. Reach was technically
it-
the fourth
it
one.
was, I remember Marty
It's just
said
a
that,
prequel.
when the game was done and they were ready for release, their idea of success was to sell 50,000 copies of Halo Combat Evolved. They sold 50,000 copies the first day, and the rest is history. So yeah, it's been, to quote the great,
That's the next one we play,
a
isn't it?
long,
Combat Evolved?
strange trip.
Wild. Wait, I'm pretty sure Combat Evolved's the second one.
I'm sorry, what? It did. I mean,
No,
it
it's just
launched
Halo 2.
hard.
Combat Evolved's the first one.
And, Halo was singularly responsible for the immediate success of a new platform. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
One, I give you some fan art, and two, can I get a finish you this fight?
We just gonna do lines up here, is that the
See that one guy move away from us, and then we moved right there.
finishing?
Yeah, it was funny.
It's all right. The Mjolnir's a little dented. Thank you. Thank you. We'll just have that right there.
I'm Jacoby. I was wondering if you guys had any cut lines that you liked.
The only one that comes to mind for me is when we were doing Halo 3, and the part that where I'm ready to finish off Guilty Spark. And so we did the line as written. And then Marty said, and this was a few times Marty ever did this, he said, "What? Okay, just riff on it. You know, what would you like to do?" And Tim D'Adamo is the voice actor who did 343 Guilty Spark, extremely talented man. I was just at a convention with him. And Tim and I, our relationship goes back pre-Halo. We were both in the same Chicago voice acting community. And Tim can be a little bit of a character, and I now have the opportunity to off him. And I sort of was going to enjoy it. Maybe a little bit more than I should have. And so I connected to a thought that when we first went in to discuss
Don't worry about it
voice
shaking
and
that much
Master
either. I can
Chief,
stabilize it in
Marty's
Adobe.
direction to me was, think of
Should I keep it
the
still, I
Russian
guess?
players. Think of
Trying, but my
Chinese
arms are so
players,
tight.
Chinese
As long as you just keep them in a
players,
frame, it
old
should be
spaghetti
fine.
westerns for a few dollars more.
Yeah, I'll just stabilize it. It has like an
Little
auto
bit of
stabilizer.
gray
I'll do
area,
that.
kind of stuff. There's a guy who didn't speak much, but when he did, somebody usually got killed. So that was what I went into Master Chief with. So I harkened back to that, and
Thank
it's an
God.
old Dirty Harry movie, might have been the first one, when he's cornering a bad guy in a donut shop or something.
How come they get to
Big
go in
fight,
there?
blah, 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 lots of guns blazing. And finally the bad guy's cornered, and Clint Eastwood has the gun, and he says to the bad guy, "So, in all the excitement, you're probably wondering, was that 5 shots or 6? Well, do you feel lucky, punk?" That was more or less Clint Eastwood's line. So I did that line with Guilty Spark. You know, well, in all the excitement, you know, blah, 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 blah. And had a gas with it, and everybody's reaction was,
They cut off
"Yeah,
the
it was
question
fun."
line. We can't ask it anymore.
To the cutting room floor it goes, never to see the light of day. But you got to hear what that
We went up
was
there to try, and
way
they told
back
us to
then
go
when we
away.
did it.
Animecon hates the streamers.
So my background is, I play with Master Chief.
Yeah, it's a jinx and
Uh,
a V.
My background is radio. I was a radio disc jockey.
Dude, literally, the more I look at this, is just Devil May Cry. Blue and red.
And that's what got me into that world. And it's sort of a
Except
natural
the difference is they're twin brothers. They go against each
offshoot
other.
is
Yeah.
to do voiceover. So, and I loved, one of my favorite things to do in commercial production was the actual producing of the spot. Not so much
You want to keep watching or you want to dip?
But being able to put it together.
It's whatever. You don't have to keep continuing. Do we have anything interesting to do on this? Or live?
We
And I
can go
love
chill in the
that
car.
creative
Probably.
process. And
Not really
Just doing this.
I would have never
Not much interesting going on here, just him, like, talking.
It was fun for a bit.
Yeah.
Nobody else was around
But
to watch.
it's just a
I
question.
think we should go do some more stuff.
And I just enjoy